Welcome back to another episode of Advancing with Amy, mental health warrior and neurospicy mama, the podcast where we dive into all things mental health and neurodiversity. Today, we're thrilled to have a special guest with us, Erica Mudd. Erica is a passionate advocate for autism awareness and a budding model who's carving out her own unique space in the fashion world. She's here to share her incredible journey of self-discovery and how she's navigating life in a neurotypical world. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's dive right in. Okay, we're here with Erica Mudd today. And Erica, you have a passion for spreading knowledge about autism and what it's like living in a neurotypical world. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it kind of started when I had like my self-discovery journey with autism. I honestly don't even know what sparked it. I know it started on TikTok though. And I just started seeing, I think probably ADHD videos, and I was like, oh, I kind of relate to that. And then later found out my dad has ADHD. So I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. And then that kind of shifted into like autism content. And I was like, okay, I kind of relate to that. And so it gave me an insight to why I feel like such an alien sometimes. I've always kind of felt like an outsider for a bunch of reasons, really, but it helped me figure out like, okay, there's like legit reasons as to why I'm just, like, feeling like I don't understand life on a level where some people, it seems like they're just getting it, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of what kinda sparked my interest and passion for it.
Okay. And what kind of things did you notice that kind of made you go, ooh, maybe I am autistic?
Um, it was kind of like a constant feeling of me saying things and then it being misinterpreted. Mostly,
Uh,
like, in the workplace, I think, and me just not understand like, I don't know, it's kind of like you have to put on this, like, face of, like, customer, because 'cause I've had so many jobs and most of them have been, retail, and it's like, you have that customer service, like, face, and you gotta be smiling all the time, and it's just like, I got to the point where I was so exhausted with that I just couldn't anymore. And I just remember this one instance, I was working at the mall, and I was super overwhelmed because it's, like, a very busy mall in our city, and I was just kind of standing in the corner, just, like, chilling, because just I wanted to, like, let the other associates, do their thing. I was in, like, a assistant managing position at the time. Um, and, like, I wasn't just standing there grinning because that's weird and creepy, so, like, my face was just kinda normal, but I guess I have, like, the RBF situation going, and, like, a customer came up to me and they're like, "Oh, you don't look like you're having a good time, like, you should smile more." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm just standing here, like, do you need something?"
right.
It's just kinda like moments like that where I'm like, "Okay, I'm just existing, and somehow that's a problem for people."
Right. Well, I got to tell you, I've been in customer service for years and I'm a social worker now, which is definitely got some customer service links to it. And
Yeah.
that is exhausting.
Yeah, very much
So,
so.
and if you throw in the other things that are going on, that can get complicated.
Mhm.
So, tell me a little bit about other things that you have going on that have made you feel like an outsider.
So, I grew up in a very suburban neighborhood. There weren't a lot of people who look like me. So, that was kind of, um it was actually a running theme throughout my life, to be honest.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
High school was very, I mean, I guess white, you could say. There
Yeah.
were very few people of color, uh, and most of the people of color were just, like, black, and there wasn't anything, like, else to provide any diversity there. And then I went to college, and it was kind of the same way, but it was obviously, it was a bigger pool of people, so there were definitely I could find my tribe there, and I ran track, so it was like, okay, I could feel a sense of belonging in a
Nice.
way, and I found, like, my few people that I still am friends with today. But yeah, it's just always been kinda even in those kinda groups in, like, sports and all that stuff and, like, socializing, and I just always felt like, "Okay, I don't know what to do here."
Just a little out of
Like
place.
yeah, and so it's interesting because I also see a lot of rhetoric online about how a lot of neurodivergent people can kind of get into, like, substance abuse and all that kind of stuff because of, like, how awkward and weird socializing can be, and, I mean, luckily, I had sports to where I couldn't, like, really get crazy with alcohol and parties and stuff, but it's definitely easy to see how that could take, like, a very wrong turn.
Oh, definitely.
So, yeah. Yeah, I just felt like I could never really loosen up or be myself because it would be weird for others and it's like, "Why do you act like that?" Or like, "Why are you so quiet?" That was, like, the running theme of my life, like, "Why are you so quiet?" I'm like,
And
"I
you've
just"
got a world in your head.
Yeah, everything's
Yeah,
happening in my head, and I'm just like, "I don't know what to say." Even if I don't have anything to say, that's a problem, like, what do you want from me?
right. When
So,
your
yeah.
friends when your friends found out, your tribe found out that you were, autistic, were they kinda like, "Oh, big surprise," or were they like, "Oh, yeah, we already knew that"?
It's funny you ask because one of my friends is also on her, like I feel like once I told her, like, "Oh, I think I'm autistic. Oh, I definitely have ADHD," she was like, because then I started sharing more, like, content that I would relate to, like, on Instagram and stuff, especially when it comes to, like, marginalized groups and, Black women who deal with autism, either, like, in their family or, like, themselves. She'd be like, "Oh my gosh, wait, I'm relating so hard to everything." So, yeah, we've been kind of, uh I feel like it's brought our friendship closer for sure too, because she's been able to discover things about herself as well.
You
Um,
kinda share that journey.
yeah,
That's kinda
uh,
nice.
but as far as my other friends, I mean, I don't think I've had the conversation as much as I've just been, like, starting to just, like, repost things on my social media.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if they'd be like, "Oh, that makes sense." But I feel like I don't know. I've got very, like, specific interests, and I've always been that kind of way, so I feel like it wouldn't be a surprise.
What are your special interests?
Anime for sure, video game, music is definitely one of my, what's that word? Hmm, can't remember, but I ran across the term echolalia,
Mhm.
I think, and I super related to that because like, music feels so much more to me than I feel like it's just not I don't know, it's not just, like, music to me that you just, like, listen to. I just feel it so deeply, and then I'll
Yeah.
get, like, instrumentals or some musical parts in my head, and I'll just replay them, really just into it, and I'll
Mhm.
have to, like, listen to it over and over again.
My
I just
daughter
love it
does
so much.
that. My
Yeah.
daughter's on the spectrum, and she loves anime, and she loves music, and she
Mhm.
totally will sing the same song over on repeat all day, and I'll be like, "Hey, I
Yeah.
like that song, but can we
We
move
switch
on?"
it up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
It's
and
just
it
like,
doesn't happen often either because it has to be like, I don't know, it's very specific because I don't have like artists that I listen to on a regular basis. I just more so have like, oh, this artist came out with this one album that I am obsessed with, and I listen to it for like 3 weeks straight. But then like other albums that that same artist has, I'll be like, I don't really know much about it.
right. It's
So
just
that
what
also is,
resonates.
yeah, it keeps me I feel like that was a part of feeling kind of othered because people would talk about music, and it's super important to like, black culture, hip hop culture, all that kind of stuff. And it's like I was into what I was into. And if I wasn't into it, I just didn't listen to it. And so explaining that to people, they'd be like, "Oh, it's like you don't know anything about Tupac or like Biggie or the greats." And I'm like, I just can't listen to them. I don't know what to tell you. So
You
yeah,
have
I don't.
trouble getting interested in other people's interests?
Yeah, it's like if you tell me that they were like so legendary or whatever, I'm like, okay, cool, cool. But like if I don't feel the urge to like listen more or um I don't know, go into it, then I'm just kind of just gonna let it be that. Like I'll believe you. Like, it's got to be my idea, I guess, to want to listen to certain things or like check out certain stuff. It's like with
Right,
Game of Thrones, like everybody was so hype about Game of Thrones, and it's like, okay, y'all talking about it so much, I really don't even want to watch it. And
right.
then like years and years and years later, I finally binged like the whole series because everybody had finally shut up about it.
Was it as good as everybody said?
It was, and
Oh,
the last
good.
season was definitely as disappointing as everyone said too.
Oh,
So
I gotta watch it.
yeah.
So so tell me a little bit about, you've been through college, right?
hmm hmm
And you said you had to advocate for yourself. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. It's so hard to like recount those memories.
Mhm.
I feel like I've um what's the word? I don't know. There's like a lot of things in my past that I'm just like, what happened there? I don't even know. My memory is so
Like
messed
it was
up.
a different lifetime.
Yeah, but I feel like at that time I didn't know about being autistic and everything, so it was just more so like me constantly being frustrated with certain things, like if a professor was like, "Oh, I wanted you to write an essay or something," and it was the stigma of like you can't do certain things overnight, but then also you would have an exam with expectations that you just told me you couldn't do overnight. You know what I mean? Like, write this essay and you have this time limit. So now I'm feeling the pressure of this time limit, but it's not like my self-imposed time limit? I just was a big procrastinator,
You think
and
that's the ADHD or the autism or both or
probably the ADHD for
yeah.
sure. Because then I would just, like, bang it out night before, and then they'd give it back to me like, "Oh, this was a great essay. He really worked so hard on it." I'll say, "Oh, yeah. Lived over it for so many days." But, yeah, it was more just figuring out how to navigate the the school portion with the track and just scheduling and I felt like a lot of well, not a lot of people, but, like, some people had mentors and stuff, and I was like, how are y'all getting these mentors helping you?" Like and it was just yeah, I just
Like
felt like
everybody
I
else has a secret guidebook that you don't have.
yeah, yeah, and I was like, "I don't know what I'm doing here." But, yeah, it was just a lot of that, mostly.
Okay. And with your family, were they surprised?
Yeah, that was a tough one 'cause, I mean, this hap I self-diagnosed, like, mm, maybe maybe 2 years ago. I feel like it might have been shorter than that, but time I
Yeah.
suffer from the time blindness very badly.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that was hard, mostly because everything that's kind of pushed in mainstream media about autism is, like, not really accurate as far as, like, it encompassing the whole experience and also acknowledging how the experience can differ between race, gender, all that kinda stuff.
Can you
Um,
explain that a little? I don't, because I need educated in that area. How is it different because of race or gender or anything?
so, like, growing up, I already felt like I had to be a certain way because I was perceived to be a Black woman. Um, and so, like, there's already this pressure to kind of to not take up space, I guess, is, a way I could say it. 'Cause there's all these, like, tropes and things with, like, the angry Black woman, "Why don't you smile more?" All that kind of stuff. It's like Black women already just exist, and people are already, like, throwing things at them, like, "Oh, you should do this, you should be this, you need to do this, you need to have this," like so, as a kid and growing up, I'm already internalizing all of that, and then also feeling like I'm not living up to that, but I'm also feeling weird in different ways that are alienating.
So it's
So,
like things building upon each other.
yeah, it's like a building block of just outside expectations depending on, like, society's view of who you are or who you look to be, you know?
Yeah. What could
So,
people do to help you with that kind of thing?
um, I feel like if I mean, it's hard to just let go of expectations and, like, preconceived, um, judgments when you're not really exposed to a lot of variety and diversity in your regular life. So I just feel like people just need to, I don't know, just, like, explore more, travel
Yeah.
more, be more curious about other cultures, other types of ways of living. Um, yeah, I just I used to get a lot of flack for watching reality TV shows a lot, but I also feel like it's a learning thing for me, and I feel like that's how I learn how people operate is by
Mm,
watching other people navigating different scenarios, you know? Because
mhm.
like, I watch a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race, I watch a lot of, like, just what's the Queer Eye?
We're after the straight guy?
Yeah, and it's just like, I am interested and curious to see how other people live and how they think, and how somebody who might be different for them might affect how they live or how they think, you know?
Mm,
And, yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of ingesting a whole bunch of different ways of life, different perspectives, and it's just I don't know, it's I feel like a lot of people could benefit from that, and society could benefit from that.
I agree. I One of the greatest things I've found out from podcasting is that I get to talk with people like you and learn something new every time I do an interview.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so it's nice. Yeah. Okay. And you said your biggest struggle was masking. What? Not everybody knows what masking is. Can you explain that?
So, it's kind of just, like, forcing yourself to, disguise your or I guess your autistic trait, forcing myself to, like, make eye contact with people when I'm talking or, like, keeping myself from stimming too much, um, that kinda thing.
Okay.
I've definitely noticed as I start to unmask and, like, do things more so to make myself comfortable rather than making other people comfortable. It definitely has a positive impact on my nervous system for sure.
Oh, good. Have you noticed your mental health is better since you've been doing that?
Yeah, it comes with its own kind of anxiety, but I'm definitely less anxious about, like, um, am I doing too much or am I doing too little, like, that kinda thing. I just have to release that kind of mentality and, yeah.
So, where are you at right now in your life? What's going on in your life?
So right now I am pursuing a modeling career. It's been probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years, since I started. Um, yeah, I'm finding my community, here as far as modeling and, been getting different local fashion shows and gigs and stuff. So that's been pretty cool.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen your website and your pictures are just gorgeous.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I think you've got this modeling thing down.
Appreciate that, appreciate that.
Yeah. Where are you hoping to go with it?
Honestly, I really want to, like, create a whole new lane for models who don't quite fit, like, feminine or masculine or whatever. Because I consider myself non-binary, and I was just at a shoot the other day, and the photographer asked me, like, "Oh, so where do you get all this confidence from?" Like, blah, 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 and I'm like, "Well, eh, it hasn't always been there, honestly," and, um, it kinda brought up the whole me feeling like an alien sometimes because it was a boudoir shoot, so, it's kind of like hyper femme, like, sexy type stuff, and I'm not that person normally.
So you can act like
So
it?
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's been weird, but also fun, and I just wanna create a lane for people who don't really who think that modeling is, like, for a certain type of person to, like, get rid of that, like, we anybody can do this shit, like, come on.
I think that's great. That's a good
Yeah.
goal.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I think you're well on your way. Is there anything that you'd like to leave our audience with today? Some words of wisdom or anything?
Not to sound corny, yeah, but be you, love you for who you are, and others will see that, and it'll definitely inspire people that you won't even know. So Yeah, be unapologetically you.
Oh, I love that. You got me teary-eyed. Uh,
Okay, me crying. I am a baby.
Uh-oh. Right. So, why don't you tell everybody where we can find you?
On Instagram, probably just my main page. That's where I post most of my neurodivergent stuff. What is my thing? Mud 3.14.
And that's Mud with 2 Ds, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And then what's your website?
Um, I don't quite have a website yet.
Hold on. Oh, what's it that I'm looking at? It says Erica Mudd Heyman Talent.
Oh, that okay. That's the my talent agency profile.
Ah, that's where I was looking, seeing all those beautiful pictures.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So they can see you there too. That's at heymantalent.com
Yes.
under Erica Mudd, Mudd. All right, Erica, I really enjoyed talking with you today. It was enlightening.
Of course, I loved it too. So fun. I
Oh,
can't
thank
wait to share
you.
more.
Good. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks. What a great conversation Erica and I had today. From her self-discovery journey through TikTok and her passion for spreading awareness about autism, to navigating life's challenges in a neurotypical world. Erica's story has been truly inspiring. She shared some deeply personal insights on masking, the impact of societal expectations, and how she's found ways to advocate for herself and others. If you want to learn more about Erica and see her stunning modeling work, be sure to check out her profile at heymantalent.com under Erica Mudd. You'll be amazed by the talent and creativity she brings to the table. A huge thank you to Erica for joining me and sharing her experiences. I encourage you all to share this episode with friends, family, and anyone who might benefit from hearing Erica's story. Together, we can raise awareness and foster a more inclusive world. Don't forget to connect with Erica on Instagram at mudd3.14. That's MUDD 3.14. And let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for tuning in to Advancing with Amy, mental health warrior and neurospicy mama. Until next time, keep advancing, warriors.